Welcome to the Efteling, and today we will show you Lavelaer.
It's the 13th of March. It's a sunny day. It's about 12 degrees. And it's a lovely day to be in the park. It's very, very quiet. And Lavelaer, it's the name of this village. And there's no translation. Not like Fairy Tale Forest, Sprookjesbos. It's really made up by the Efteling.
Yep, it's a made-up story, and you can read it here in 4 different languages. It's a story made up by Ton van der Ven. He was head of design in the 70s till 90s, and he wanted to create a new fairy tale forest.
And if that was his goal, then he did not succeed.
In the Lavelaer there is one ride, and that's the monorail, and it seems there is a very short queue, of even no queue, we will see. So let's ride the monorail.
The rest of the village is walked through, so that there are attraction-like things you can see, but this is the only ride. And in Sprookjesbos there's actually also one ride, but that's quite recent, a recent addition.
Oh, there's even no queue, so let's get in. So here we go, and here we see one of the people of Laaf. They're really funny looking.
Yeah, they are not gnomes, they're not dwarfs, they're really a made-up species that only live in the Efteling. The story they tell you is also how they got to the Efteling, but we'll
They
show
lived
you
on
later.
the North Pole.
Yeah.
They lived on the North Pole, and it became too cold, and that's why they had hit their head off and looked for a new place to live.
It's really funny because that's really bad, but in my mind I go to climate change and well, if it's getting warmer they can go back. But no, it's not my favorite place in the Efteling, but it is a quiet place to be. So even if the park is busy, this place isn't really that busy.
And if you're tired or you just want to get out of all the crowds, it's nice to wander around. You can visit all places, and we will show you all things to see in this part of the park.
So if you are one day at the park and you can't make this place, no worry, we'll show you today and probably we'll skip it during your day.
And actually, a fun fact about the monorail, nowadays it's completely motorized and automatic. But in the early days, in the first few years, you had to pedal around.
Yeah, it was quite. I know the first time I rode this, I was a kid, and I believe my father or mother sat next to me, and they had it rough. It was a real exercise to get around this track, and well, yeah, they motorized it shortly after.
One of the main reasons to motorize it was because of it was hard work, but also the kids love to bump into each other, and that wasn't that good for the cars. And as you can see, the carts are formed like a snail. And as you can see here, we go around the complete part. It's quite a large piece of the park.
It's also a kind of playground, so there are stepping stones in water, and there are slides and seesaws and that kind of thing. But there are no. There's not a place where you can get a drink or.
No bars or
no.
such thing.
There was one in the early days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's closed.
It was Lurk and Limoenhuis.
Also,
And that's down here. But I guess we will show you later on.
and you probably can't believe this when you see all these people, but when it opened, it was quite popular. The lava, they were sold in all kinds of places, and people had them at home.
Oh yeah, they were collectibles, and even for in your garden, and statues for in your home, and there was a toilet paper holder and all that kind of stuff.
The weirdest stuff you can think of, you look it online, Google it. It's weird stuff, and well, people collected all the lava. but they stopped making those.
Yeah, it was licensed to our factory and wasn't that profitable anymore, so they stopped producing those. Um, but I guess the Efteling, one day they want to try again, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know if there's any demand. I'm a fan of the Efteling. I don't want them in my home. They're really creepy, scary. Yeah. Here's one on the windmill. And yeah, we'll get a closer look later on.
And as you can see here, Lavelaer is next to the Antal Peak Square, where you can all find all the carousels.
Yeah, you can enter from this square. You can enter from the Dreamflight square.
There are several entrances.
Yeah.
Yep. And we are completely round.
All these snails have different names, all starting with an L.
In Lavelaer, all names start with an L. From the people, from the buildings.
And the exit is at the gates. Well, we're at the same gate. We just entered in, and we'll go back. And we start at the place where they entered the Efteling and decided.
No, that's not this place. This
That's
is
not
the
this
place
place?
where they tell you the story in Dutch. Laafs Loerhuis. Here's a well, just like the one in the fairy tale forest, and they
I
show
thought-
you pictures and it's shut down. Normally there's a picture down there, and they tell the story of Laaf.
But I thought it was the whole. Oh no, that's the other
We'll
one.
find the
Yeah.
place where they came out of the ground. The story is they left the North Pole because it was cold, and they looked for a nice place. They went underground. They digged away.
Dug away up.
Dug away up, and they heard the greeting Alaaf, and that was their greeting as well in the Efteling, and they found it a nice place, and that's why they settled in the Efteling and built their own village. And when it was work in progress, it was called Funny Village.
Yeah. Well, funny, scary. We'll let you be the judge, and I'd love to hear your opinion about this place because I obviously have an opinion. Let's try this. See if it works.
If it works,
It's
let's
drinking water,
try.
right?
It's drinking water, and when you pump up the water, it will come out one of the three pipes, and you don't know which one, and it will change all the time. But
It's close enough.
uh,
Doesn't work.
it doesn't work. In summer it does, so you can
yeah,
try.
Maybe because it's winter, right? So.
And now we will walk to the first building where there's something to see. Over this bridge. And we'll go over there. And normally on all the bins is papier here as well as here, paper here. But normally there's little thumb with the 7 miles shoes. But here it's a special one with a little laugh.
Yeah, little baby, the extra scary kind, the little babies.
And let's visit Lot's Kraamhuis.
This is the part where well, to be honest, I'm not really scared, but it's nightmare stuff.
This is where you can find all the babies. And as you can see, they drink grapefruit.
Yeah, you can't really zoom in, but there are lots of babies on the wall hanging in baskets, which is weird by design. Who hangs their baby in a basket? It goes all the way up, and it has a grandma and a grandpa and all the other Laafs.
And actually that's strange, because the grandpa died in the story.
Oh, there are lots of grandpas. Oh, yeah, here you can see all the way up.
But it's the same grandpa they shown on the picture in the well. It's the same grandpa as here.
It's like 20 little baby Laven on the
Yep.
wall.
and all have their own names and have their own character and things to do, and all match to their name. Well, actually, this part of the park is nice to visit in autumn, because they don't get rid of all the leaves that fell down. They leave them on the ground, and all these trees have wonderful yellow leaves in autumn. So if you can visit it then.
Well, it says something as the best part of this. It's the leaves. But we're trying to sell it to you. The rest of the park is amazing, but we're not the big
I
fan.
also try to sell Laaf. You're not a fan. I can appreciate it sometimes. So maybe I'll show you around.
I'll shut up. Okay.
And let's head over to the Lavelaer. That's where they made, what do we call it? A statue of the grandfather who died, to honor him.
Church.
Yeah, it's not really a church. It's in here.
Well, in church you light candles. You can light candles here. It's the best.
And here we go. Here's the statue. And if you put your hand in the thing in front of the statue, and you do it right now, okay, thank you. Then the candles will light up, they will come up. And he froze to death, so with the candles we warm him up. And they go down again. And here you can find the place where they
This is
came
it.
out of the ground.
And you can hear it as well.
Yeah, you can still hear them dig.
They came up about 30 years ago,
Yeah?
but they're still digging.
And this is where they climbed up and built their village. You can hear them dig through these ears. And as you told, it's mainly a playground, so you find some places where there are things to do for children. And there's one little funny thing up here, and it's called Lavelaer. And it's quite strange as well. If you pull this handle, I will do so. Yep. Then you electrocate this Laaf. And normally the light will go on, so you can hurt him.
Yeah.
Yay!
It's also very.
Weird.
I'll call this the weirdest place in the Efteling.
Yeah, I guess it is. And this is where you could had some drinks in the early days, but it was unpopular, so they shut it down. They had their own beer called Laafs.
Well, they still have their own beer. The places where you can stay overnight,
Mm-hmm.
Bosrijk and Loopsland. But this beer is no longer available.
No, actually it is, because it's Hertog Jan Double. But it was sold as their own beer.
I didn't know that.
And you, and if you ordered the beer, you got a glass with no, but you couldn't put it down because there was a pointy. It was yeah,
It wasn't.
egg-shaped at the bottom. But that's why there are all holes in the tables around the bar, because you could put your glass in the holes. And those glasses are still very popular among fans of the park.
I remember the pepper and salt shaker as well. And there were so many things they sold you guys.
Here you see a lazy Laaf. He's watering the herbs, and he made them
The herbs is for the beer.
for the beer, yeah.
And the beer, they still make it over here.
The Laafs brewery,
At least,
Laafs brewery.
I'm not sure where they sell it to, but
I guess for their own consumption.
every time we visit, they do this.
And this is another scene to look at, the brewery. And it's quite strange because they make beer, but there are grapes and there are all kinds of liquor. But actually, I don't see any ingredients for the beer.
Imagine having that one in your home. That's scary.
It's scary. I can imagine it's fun for in the Efteling. But there were people collecting them.
Well, there still are because when we have these online marketplaces, and the people still sell them and buy them. So it's a scene, I guess. And there's one event in October with all kinds where people with collected items all come and sell them, and there are
the
quite some.
Efteling collectors
Yeah, there are quite a couple of stands.
selling Laaf
Yeah,
products.
selling now. Laven.
And as you can see, the monorail is going throughout the whole Lavelaer. Back to the bar.
There's one of those tables, right? It's holes in them.
Yep. The holes are gone, but there used to be holes in the tables to put your glasses. And here you have a building with hanging bridges. There's nothing to see in there. It's just a playground. And here you have the stepping stones. But there's a fence right now because the water is too high. But there are stepping stones in there. I fell in the water once when I was young.
She did.
Yeah, I'm clumsy.
It's good to know that the Efteling has two places. If something happens to you, you get hurt or you fall in the water, it doesn't have to be serious.
Only one.
Only one?
Only one.
There was one here. I
It's
remember.
shut down. Nowadays, this is for mothers who want to breastfeed.
No, there is one in Rijswijk and there's.
Nope, the first aid in Rijswijk is not there anymore. Only at the double A.
Oh.
It's the only first aid place they still have.
Then across from the candy shop,
Mm-hmm.
there's first aid, and they also have little things like a band-aid or an aspirin or a dryer for when your clothes get very
And
wet.
when you need help, just go to one of the employees. They all will help you out.
Yeah, they have bicycles as well, so they can come to you if something.
And here you see the school. This one is ringing the bell. And when he pulls a rope, he actually rings the bell. And the neighbors of the park don't like that bell. They complain a lot about it. But here you can step up to all the students, read what they're writing or drawing or
One of them is falling asleep.
Yep. Just like an actual school. And you can walk around the building to see the other students.
on the lounge. It's doing its thing.
Should it be the alcohol from the brewery?
it, the village is weird enough for the children to drink alcohol, I'm sure.
He's sneezy,
Oh, he's sleepy?
sleepy.
He's sleepy. He wakes up when the bell goes. And then there are two left, I believe. The bakery.
Here we have the slide house. I believe this is the only building with a name with a G. In Dutch it's called glijhuis,
Well, that's an
slide house. There are slides in several heights. Now, indeed, two more buildings to visit. This is where you can enter the slide house. And here's the bakery. And as you can see, they make bread, cakes, all kinds of stuff. This music is so annoying. I can't get it out of my head.
And to top it all off, the latest house, farts.
It
has
farts,
a,
it
has a
laughs.
staircase that makes noises and it farts. So, well, that's the last thing we'll show you. And I'd love to hear your opinion. What do you think? Have you ever visited this place?
Do you want to visit?
And if so, what did you think? Or do you want to visit? Let us know. What do you? I'd love to hear your opinion about it.
Oh, wait, just show you this one.
Oh yeah.
The angry baker who tries to catch his mate, I guess.
Yeah, not sure what he did, but he did something wrong.
So,
Probably. Or yeah, no clue.
the laughing house. So let's show you. It's this staircase. Just listen. Crazy, right?
Yeah. Well, if you like this, like it, subscribe, and please support our channel. And I will take you around another part of the Efteling soon.
See you next time.